Whose land is this?
My land.
Well, our war hero has arrived.
You made a good choice coming back here. Osage are the finest, wealthiest, and most beautiful people on God's earth. They outsmarted everybody.
They have the say. Who gets the oil?
Son, I got a question. You like women?
That's my weakness.
I've said this quote many, many times, but it's the truth. The places that are rich in the most natural resources are those places that are often most drenched in blood. And this story was not only surprising to hear, but through the work that I've done, you realize all around the world this is happening. And in every continent on Earth, indigenous people have been marginalized, been pushed aside, they've been murdered. And a lot of the work that my foundation has done is, look, climate change is one of the most daunting issues that humanity has ever had to take on. But the opportunity that we have by focusing on indigenous communities who are the stewards of the land and protecting our natural resources relates to the climate issue. I mean, we're waiting for, people to pull carbon out of the atmosphere. We're waiting for everyone to drive an electric car. We're waiting for the private sector out there to do right and not put pressure on, the public to make these transitions. We want it to be automatically integrated into our daily life. And we're waiting for the powers that be to make massive shifts. But in the meantime, supporting grassroots indigenous communities who are on the front lines, who know how to protect their lands, that's the best effort we can all give if we want to participate in philanthropy and protecting the environment. That's the best thing we could do.
Well, we mix these families together, and that estate money flows the right direction. It'll come to us.
Shomikasi. That's how you are.
I don't know what you said, but it must have been Indian for handsome devil.
Why did you come here?
Look, two things can coexist simultaneously, and they can both be true. Mm-hmm. He can absolutely be in love with this woman and systematically helping to have her entire family disappear, and be culpable in that. And there was this story, this love story, was really, you call it the sort of great transformation of the great rewrite. It was a completely different story at one point. And this story, this dynamic, was a real footnote in the original screenplay. But as twisted and complex as it was fascinating. And it got us into the heart of telling the story more through the Osage perspective and getting to the truth of what actually happened. So what can I say other than we did our best to try to tell the truth? That was our role, that was our responsibility in making this movie, is really try to sit and listen.
Kind of lends itself to that analogy about, we're human beings on a planet that, in many indigenous worldviews, Earth is mother, Earth is a woman. We're in Osage County, we're in Osage country on Indian land that is oil rich. And those two truths can exist. We can love our Earth and extract everything from her at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that love is, we're all a little complicit in some kind of a dynamic that way if we're pulling out far enough in the analogy that we're looking at this love story through.
I work with my uncle.
You scared of him?
Oh, he's the nicest man in the world. The Osage.
Their time is over. We got to take back control of our home.
I was sent down from Washington, D.C. to see about these murders.
We have so many deaths, we've lost count.
It's just bad luck.
Seems more like an epidemic than bad luck to me.
Well, yeah, obviously, anytime you're playing real people that existed, there is an added weight, and then you can amplify that tenfold with something like this, because you know, it's a story that had been buried for such a long time, and such an ugly part of our history as a country that you know, myself included, most people didn't know about. And so yeah, there was an enormous responsibility to get it right. And you know, I feel like the film is really powerful and honest, and shooting in the place where all this happened with the descendants of people that were affected by it was something that I will cherish forever and never forget. You know, they were incredibly welcoming and generous, and obviously a mix of a lot of emotions with the story finally being told. But it was profoundly special.
Osage is dying by the enemy. Do not let them die alone.
Evil surrounds my heart.
You gotta pick a side.
I don't even know if you love me anymore.
Of course I love you.
And kill these men who killed my family.
Yeah, I think there's two different sides to that, because there is the people that are praising it and that are excited about it, but then there's also the people that are very hurt by it and that are triggered by it, that are seeing their family members or just seeing an event that maybe they have experienced personally on the screen. So I think it is such a important thing to show. And I mean, we're super excited about all the positive reviews that we're getting and positive news, but I think ultimately it is a very tragic story. And so we're glad it's being told, and that hopefully it's, you know, it's people are telling it and talking about it in a positive way and showing that mental health is a real thing. And, you know, you guys support each other.
Did your wife say who she was most afraid of?
Don't do something you're gonna regret for the rest of your life. I ain't got nothing but regret.